It stopped with there.
Yeah.
That's where it stopped. It didn't get any further than
The
up
committee
to that.
felt
It
as if
stopped.
they didn't get the support from the city.
So,
She wouldn't-
So
Well,
they
you
said,
wouldn't
why
do
should we
nothing.
stick our, why should we stick our neck out for this?
Didn't you just say that you already gave them a warning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did all papers to it.
Well,
but
see,
it's
how
up-
did you give
it's
a
up to
warning?
committee, way I understand
That's
the rules is,
the
we've
blighted
done,
building,
we've
I
done
thought was the
what
one
we should have
supposed
done, but
to
it's up to
give them
this
permission to
committee.
give a warning.
we did that on their own, based on the ordinance, you know, because the ordinance says they're to be notified, given so many times.
So if they go through the process, Mr. Boggs, without that committee backing it, then it's gonna be delayed again, is that what you're saying? If the committee's
So
not
basically, we
established?
need to get the committee here with her here at the
They're gonna
same
meet
time.
Thursday.
Then meeting Thursday, and go over it with
Supposed
them.
to.
There's
And
three
what,
members of the committee, they call it property, there's a total of 6 members on it, it's a planning and zoning commission. And then 3 of them are broken down to the property review commission. Those are the 3 that have to decide on property that needs to be condemned and taken away. And according to the ordinance, they can declare that property condemned and it can be taken away. And if they do that, we can
That's
move
when
it
you
and
can
charge
come
the
in.
city. Yeah.
Have you
Can,
talked to
are they
Rudy
meeting
about it?
Thursday?
No, I haven't been able, you can't catch Rudy. You can't call, I've tried to call him and he won't call me back. and
Do
stuff
you
like
know
that.
him well enough
Well, I
to?
could ask him,
I'd
well,
call
I don't have to
Matilda.
know him, I could tell him, you know.
Rudy, you won't catch him till after about 3 o'clock. He sleeps. He's an all-nighter. But,
I thought if Wayne and those boys, they talked to him pretty serious about it, and he's just ignoring them too, you know, and I know he'd ignore me, but we just gotta take action, and I'm
Yeah.
willing to move that trailer out of there.
Can she come Thursday? You said they're gonna meet Thursday, Miss Holcomb. Can you meet with them Thursday?
What time do they meet Thursday?
I don't blame you, I would too.
Can you-
Can you be here at
ridiculous.
10? It's supposed to be at 10 o'clock
Ron
Thursday.
Jarvis,
I should be able to.
Frank Creech, John Dixon, Jack Creech,
the blighted building would be what the committee she would be
the
needing.
3 of them. Well, they'll all be here,
Okay.
and they broke down, and you gotta.
But that's the thing that's on that blighted building committee, Ron Jarvis, Frank Creech, and John Dixon.
There's
I
RB
don't
too.
really know.
Well, they've only had
I got
about,
it back here
We
in the
don't
back.
know, okay.
It
that's
seems
fine.
like they
That's
combined
fine.
it.
RB Browning
they've only had about
RB
3
Brown,
meetings in a year.
and Jack Creek.
Or a year
Now,
and a
RB
half.
was called today by one of the people who,
That RB's one you
and
get.
RB said he could do nothing, that he was on the
Planning and zoning,
zoning committee, and he
Yeah.
could not do anything.
but they all work together
But
though.
see, there's 3 on each, we've got 3 different committees in the planning and zoning. Blighted properties, property review, and planning and zoning. But the planning and zoning consists of 6 people. But then there's 3 people on the other 3 committees, out of the planning and zoning. Because actually, we need more people to sit in on those committees and active, more active people too. It's just a
So
never
will
ending
these people
problem.
actually show up for this meeting on Thursday? Do they always come to the meeting? Do they, will they?
No.
I tell you.
Because if I'm gonna come at 10 o'clock, I expect to see them here.
Well, how about having Robin call them all tomorrow and schedule them, say, to try to be here? There's
Yeah.
going to be an important meeting.
We'll do that.
I would do
That
that.
way you don't waste your time coming if they're not gonna be here.
Right.
Well, that's 3 of them, that's the other.
Yeah, do they know your phone number to call you?
I can leave it with
Yeah, I
them.
would leave it with Robin.
You know, there ain't much street lights out there.
They could handle
What
it.
happened to street lights?
And I'm sure whatever amount of time, I don't know what the
I had 2
zoning
people complain
committee,
about street lights.
blighted building committee's gonna come up with, but you and I spoke the Friday before Labor Day, and you said at that point he'd had his 10 days. At that point, he's had probably several more 10 days since then. I mean, I don't know when it first started.
How long has this trailer been burnt? Not
I don't know the exact date. Dale Holcomb would know because he was the
Has
one
it
who had
been
it.
3 months?
It's been months, yes,
Months?
yes,
It's probably been at least, I won't say 5 anyway.
yeah,
really?
Just guessing now.
yeah.
It's just burned to where it's not livable, is that
No,
what you're
that would
saying?
have been.
Are we sure that
If it
it's,
had burned to the ground, that would have, God forgive me, that would have been a blessing.
Been a blessing, yeah.
As long as no one got hurt.
Wouldn't have been no rats
as long
or
as
anything.
no one got
Yeah.
hurt, and it killed every roach and rat
It
near
really is
it.
bad when you
But
got
it
abandoned
just caught on
property,
fire
rats.
enough to
It's
be.
terrible.
are we sure that Rudy owns it and not like the mayor said? We're not positive who the owner
I think
is?
Mr. Oh, is it Rudy?
I would find out before
I'm pretty
if you
sure.
serve Rudy papers, I'm
We serve
assuming
papers
it's
on
his.
it, so
Yeah, and
I'll-
Okay,
I'd
and he
find
didn't
out
say it
that
wasn't
property
his,
about
right?
this is not his property.
Okay.
The people paid rent to Rudy. Rudy was.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
But he gets the rent for all his property that belongs to the spillover.
Well, Don Childers has deep pockets too. I don't care who it belongs to. I just want it get the problem solved. So I'll be here 10 if you can call me. I'll leave you my phone number. It's 589-5142. And my cell phone is 606-246-0855. And I thank you and appreciate all that you all can do for us because it's really not a good situation.
Try our best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Frank, go ahead.
Is there more properties to add to that, so Rudy is not feeling like he's individualized here?
There's
Because there's a lot of issues all
That's
over
what
the
we
city
gotta
right
stay
now.
on. If we go for one, we need to go for all.
Yeah,
Just like
I don't
any
want
one
Rosie
of
to
us,
think
one
we're
pays
just
all.
Well, see,
Okay.
the thing about it is you have somebody come to council meeting and actually complain too. That makes a difference.
And the health hazards too makes it more serious too, the health hazards.
You're right. You know, the squeaking wheel gets the grease. And,
Yeah.
but we really need a real active planning and zoning and code enforcement board and.
We ought to invite her, because she sounds
You got the,
well-spoken and.
Flood project houses or buildings, they tore some down, but then right up from it, I don't know if they own it yet or not, but the one that Fess is in, that window's knocked out. We've discussed this many times. People in there, the old news building.
We've got it throughout town, everywhere, just about everywhere.
So, I mean,
What about the property out here just
Well,
behind the
that's,
city hall?
yeah.
That
That's-
is not a story.
That's
Frank,
That
would you
is-
tell them what you rested for today?
That's pretty bad. It is.
That's what I mean
It's
about-
terrible.
about
It's
Frank there.
terrible.
He's, just go ahead and tell us what you said today about that file.
I've been concerned with it, and I've heard it from several people. Why aren't they doing something about it, being that everybody in the city sees it when they come to pay all their bills? And it's probably one of the worst appearances in this city.
I
It's
thought
right
the
here
city
behind
owned one of
Hall.
those buildings.
we
back
owned the
there.
blank spot in between it. That was the building that when I was on council, we had a problem with, someone's sewer stopped up.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
can't
who owns
remember
the
his
other
name.
part, the other buildings?
We own that blank spot in there. I don't know who owns the one beside it.
The ball, isn't that the
All that
Baldwins
garbage
that live
is
in
piled
there?
up, it's piled up on
Yeah,
city
they
property.
own it.
So we could clean it up?
It's city property.
City property.
Actually, whenever we took the excavator over and tore the house down, that's the space we had to get our building away from their building. With an
But the
excavator.
city actually owns
With
it.
a biter bucket, with a biter on it.
Yeah, but who owns the house where Miss Baldwin
I think they own it.
is?
Yeah.
Well, it's blighted property. That's all the whole thing over there. If it's a floodplain, I don't know if it'd be considered in the floodplain or not.
Miss Baldwin's house, that she lives there, correct? I'm not making excuses at all, but one reason her place looks like it does is she got that after her husband passed. And she has really no income, and there's a lot of church groups that they come in and out of here in siding houses, roof houses, and
She would be a good one for a
She would be-
community church too.
I believe if you talked with her
She'd be a good one to go in
and
the
put her in
housing
contact
Yes,
with some
she
people,
would,
she
yeah,
would
yeah.
fix it.
We
She
could help
just
her do
doesn't know
that.
how or have the income. The people that do have the income to fix something generally, sadly to say, they don't. But you got people that don't have any money, they look at other people's houses and say, man, I wish I could side my house, or I wish I could clean this up. They just need help. And you don't know that until you talk to them.
Well, that's something we might be able to work on
Because
also.
whenever
She does need
whenever we
help.
tore our
She
city property
is.
down back here, we went ahead and there was a lot of garbage there. We had the excavator here, we cleaned up 2 properties for $1,800 while we rented the excavator, and they delivered it to us. We just had to have the guy get on it, tear it down, clean it up. Took us about 3 days, cost $1,800. We cleaned up 2 serious issues. So to me, if we knew what the problem was or what to fix, you might talk to some of these people and they might interact with you and say, hey, I'd gladly clean it up. Can you make some suggestions as to who I would contact to help me, help you?
I don't know how somebody living in a home, you can say it's blighted anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, actually blighted if somebody's living in it. I mean, you know, it's just run down stuff.
Most
You
of
see what I'm
them
saying?
are run down. Some of them are not
There's a difference in
unlivable. They look
blighted,
like it.
yeah.
When you go in, they're usually they have a clean home.
Yeah.
They just, the outside, and a lot of that happens with a lot of the elderly.
If
They
you,
get stuck.
if you wind up on this situation the lady was describing, where you have obviously a health hazard trailer who don't know who owns the trailer, see, that's the problem. The landowner may be one person.
Right.
And the trailer owner may be another. So, the landowner may not necessarily be, the owner of the trailer, it may be two different people. And if that be the case, and you have to, if you were gonna remove it, trailer, you'd need to make sure you know who owns the trailer, and there'd be a number on it or something.
Yeah, somebody that,
But what you can do, if you do have to go ahead, and it's declared blighted, rather than condemn the whole property, if you're removing that trailer and clean it up, you could do that and put a lien against the property for what, even though you couldn't put it on a water bill or something.
For whatever
you could-
the cost.
You could put a lien on
We
that
done that
property.
house behind Central Baptist Church.
And then when and if the property's ever sold and that lien's recorded in the clerk's office in Harlan, you could have a possibility of collecting, but you know, that's years off when property sells, if you put a lien on it to collect it.
But it's better to have it cleaned up.
well,
It's better to
yeah,
have it cleaned up and you've got the possibility of collecting the lien.
In the long run,
Yeah.
more than
see, they
likely.
could have just been paying rent to have
That's
that
why-
mobile home on there.
Yeah.
And
That's
when-
what you're-
And when their
yeah.
mobile home was destroyed,
Yeah.
they just
And
walked
they
up
just
and
left
left
it.
it. And it's as much Rudy, if Rudy's the property owner, it's as much, you know, a
That's what I
headache for
said.
him.
I wanna make sure who owns it before I say,
Well, let's
Rudy this
look
and
at it
Rudy
this
that.
way. The,
it may not be his. The trailer may belong to someone else.
any decision that the property review committee or the code enforcement board or the other board, the third board, blighted building, any decision they make can be arbitrarily changed by the council. So wouldn't that give the council the authority to say, move that, wouldn't they have enough authority to say, let's get it done without having to be an arbitrator? I mean, you can change any decision that those guys make, say, but, so couldn't you just say, make a resolution to move that property out of here, and wouldn't that be illegal according to the ordinance?
Well, you've got to decide who owns the property.
We would do
And
that,
These
yeah.
other situations you've had a building that was attached to the property. It's a different thing with a trailer. Trailer falls almost into the line of not real property, but personal property, as if it were a car, a vehicle, or something that's movable off of there. It's not like a structure that's built there. You said yourself, it's probably still got the wheels under it. Well, typically, if the wheels are still under a mobile home and it's not been added on to, and, you know, with rooms and porches and and with carports and all that kind of stuff, it's still a piece of personal property that can be removed. And you wouldn't be condemning the whole property, you'd just be cleaning up, and then putting a lien against the property because you had to clean it up. Same way if you remove the garbage out here on the lot. You know.
Harlan just got through doing some of the buildings like that, didn't it, and stuff like that.
I think they went through their council, see. Some cities don't have enough support in these committees to do the jobs. Like, we've had that problem here. Yvonne, you remember, we had the same problem here for years, and it's been that way for years. But if the council could just, to remove any liability from the city, or I don't know if you could do that, but actually remove the liability, but actually, if they could be responsible for it, they are the legislative body. And, you know, if they said, okay, enforce the ordinance as it is, make sure you do it correctly, and, you know, if you have to, you know, make sure you got the right owner and all that.
You've got the ordinance, and I'm not, you know, arguing for it against either way, but what I'm saying is, this situation that this lady presented to you, may not fall squarely in your blighted buildings because she's not described a building.
No.
She described a trailer.
She's described a
But we
piece
have a
of
nuisance.
personal property.
We
So-
have a nuisance ordinance too, see?
So that, you've got maybe two ways of looking at it. You could see that as personal property as if it were old cars or something.
See, I look at it more as a health factor
Uh-huh.
than anything.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that, you have the possibility of just, forcing the landowner to clean that the way as if it were grass growing on it.
Mhm.
Has he
Or
been
weeds
sent a
or
bill yet,
trees
or
you know.
he's just been sent a warning, hasn't he? He's not been sent any actual bill of the fines yet, has he?
No,
I think that should be the next thing, of sending him a bill of fines.
Yeah, your ordinance, I looked at it a few minutes ago, your ordinance says that 60 days, they have that's what the
60
ordinance
days.
says.
Yeah.
They have 60
Mm-hmm.
days
That's what I thought.
and the letter is supposed to say what you're supposed to do. In other words, I didn't see the letter, but let's just suppose that the letter said, you've got to clean this trailer up, get it off of there, remove it, it's burned, it can't be repaired, you've got to remove it from the property within, he has 60 days to respond to that, and then if he doesn't, then according to your ordinance, you start with the fines of $50 a day.
What did the letter say?
It says it's a health hazard. We thought it was a
I mean,
health
did you all
hazard.
tell him to clean it up?
Yeah, we told him had to clear that, rectify the situation, get it resolved. But,
And Wayne talked,
Well,
you
they
talked
were-
to him too, right?
Do what the lawyer says now.
You know, we need to do what the lawyer says now.
Yeah.
Now he's ready for the fines,
Mhm.
I say.
That's
Give
what
him so
they
many
really
days after
gotta
that, and
follow.
then after-
Take the ordinance, and if you got a question, ask the
Yeah.
attorney.
we sent him a copy of the
Has
ordinance.
it been 60 days? Oh, Parker says it's supposed to be
I'm
60 days.
assuming, just guessing off the top of my head, it's right at 60 days. I'd have to go back, we've got a copy when we did serve it or whatever, but I
Need to
don't.
check on that and then just follow through with what the lawyer says.
But if
I
you
do
wanted to
understand
take-
the hassle
you know,
getting them
you wanna
cleaned
take
up.
it, and you could put the fines on there, you wanted to go ahead and try to clean it up, and then assess the cost to it, and then just record a lien that you need to know, and you can do that through your tax bill. Who's the owner of that piece of property?
And if you wanna keep this lot in between that we own back here, you really need to look at just having a fence, because at the end of that piece of property the city owns,
In the river.
it's about an 8-foot drop where it's hollowed concrete where used to be a house there. You're looking at a liability just having those kids out there playing on it. And, keep the garbage off. I'd say it will, but I hope it.
Fence it or fill that hole in with rocks or something?
I would really take the city backhoe, since we have one, and knock that piece of concrete down, fill it in, and then put a fence up. It used to be an old basement. It's not a full basement, it's just a little piece toward the end, and some people don't know, I've seen them park cars on it, and it's a wonder it ain't fell through and went into the
They've
river.
worked on cars.
Dale back there, he uses it too as a parking place.
Well, I mean, you could fence it in and put a gate on it and rent it to him.
Oh, yeah.
As a parking lot. Make it some simple fee that he could deal with to keep it clean and what have you.
We have one other lady here.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, did you have something you wanted to?
No, I just came more or less because I want to start being supportive and active, and
Well, great. That's
That's
great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Frank is one of my very best friends, and his little wife is becoming one of my best friends, and she works with my granddaughter at school, and he's my neighbor. My name is Clara Ison, and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes,
I remember you,
Miss
Miss Tyson, on the bridge. Are you very cooperative with this?
Well,
Fixing that bridge back there.
try to do whatever I can to help. But I just wanted to start being active and maybe I can help someone do something, and if everybody was supportive, it would all create a better picture for the community.
Yeah, great, that's
Well,
great.
that's great to hear.
Yeah. Don't hear that too
Thank
much.
you very much.
No, you don't.
Is anyone else have anything that they want to register before we get on to city business? Frank, look at that place back there tomorrow sometime, see what we can do with it, okay?
Absolutely.
Robin actually has a copy of the deed to it. 'cause we had to get the deed and look it over, and we've even got pictures of what it looked like before. It was a house, but the roof was fell in. The kids were playing all around it.
Somebody out there give us the heart
They gave it to us to,
Yeah, they did.
they gave it
Like
to us to
that.
keep from having to clean it up.
Yeah.
And, we actually did, we came out saving money. I mean, we cleaned it up, we took the eyesore out. And
We were talking about, things, eyesores and things like this. Frank, has been collecting junk that we've got stored in our buildings and, on the shelf and things. And, he's been collecting this from all the departments, and he now has it piled up in the floor at the warehouse. It's equipment like old copiers, electrical printers, stuff that's just junk. It's years old. And if you would, it would cost us more to actually go through this stuff and try to, just what you need to do is just look at it so we can throw it away, okay? We need to put it in a junk pile, is what we need to do. And it's laying up there on pallets in the warehouse.
Probably need to call it surplus, don't you?
Well, we can do it, but we don't want to bid it off or anything like that.
Well, I know, but if it's
Surplus
surplus,
to-
you can get rid of it.
Just
Okay.
get rid of it. I would say do it.
But just,
That's
you want to
fine.
look at it and,
Where's the warehouse?
Yeah, where's the warehouse located at, so we
right
can,
across from Fields Furniture there. The
maintenance
yard.
You in the maintenance building?
And warehouse, yeah, we're using it as a warehouse to store,
I can take rid of care of my own
extra
junk. They just
materials.
get rid of that. Throw it away.
But,
I'll give you a little heads up on some materials you got. That's, those two big sticks of, I think 12-inch white pipe you've got up there at the water department, laying out there. You're not supposed to leave those laying in the sun. That you leave it long enough, and it'll be ruined, so you really need to be put in the warehouse, because when they need a section of it, it's gonna be brickled. I was actually told that by a couple of engineers that saw it laying there and wondered why it'd be like the blue pipe. There's a whole stack of blue pipe up there that's worthless. It's laid out there so long, you could probably walk up, snap it off.
about 8 years.
Probably about, I don't know how much it's worth, but I'd say it's
It's
good 3 or 4
$8,000,
thousand.
$8,000 is what it costs when you put it there.
And it's just laying there, went to waste.
Just haul it off.
And that's
Now,
another thing.
that can be used for drain pipe.
It can be. You could probably put it up for surplus and someone would actually buy that, considering there's a lot of drains and stuff they could use it for. But it never takes a high pressure
But
of water.
that's not the kind of material I'm talking about is just throwing away. That's got value to it. What I'm talking about is junk.
I'm
like,
talking
if you
about
get a
keeping it
chance-
from being junk.
We'll go take a look at it. We will.
Okay, and then
If
if
it's
you
city
do,
stuff, you have to declare it surplus anyway, no matter what it is.
then look upstairs here
My
in this building.
understanding.
Go upstairs and look in this building, and there's been stuff up there for 20 years, it's 20 years old, papers and machines and things, but all of this, we really need to dispose of it. So if we'll declare it surplus, if we can just take it to the junkyard. But we can't sell it, we can't auction it off or bid it off, because nobody will pay. You look at it and you'll see what I mean, okay?
Well, you can't do the papers like that, the records like that.
Well, those records are, we look at them and you see what I'm talking about.
I know,
It's
but-
not really records, mostly it's books, old ordinance books and things of that nature. Nature.
I thought things like that had to be, you have to go through Frankfurt and all that, and you gotta do that checklist and all that stuff. or
If we have to
Getting
do
rid of
that, then we'll
stuff.
just let it lay up there, because it's not worth the trouble. You gotta see it to see what I'm talking
I
about.
know, but there's regulations today, there's
Okay, but I mean,
files and things.
look at it, and then tell me that, it's worth recording and stuff like that, documenting.
Well, it's
I won't
not,
get
it's
rid of
not
it.
me saying it, it's the
I won't get rid of any
law
documents.
saying it.
Well, these are not, well.
I mean,
these
you know, they're the ones
You
that
got
says
old
that you gotta do
printers
that.
and things of that nature. I mean, you need to take a photograph of them, get the serial number off of it, bring it down here and say this is surplus, and let's get rid of it.
But there's a way that you can get rid of those records and a way you can't
But you
get
don't
rid
want
of
to
them.
not record the serial numbers and what you threw away because they're still in your inventory,
No,
or it
these are-
should
these-
be.
No, that's another thing. our inventory was destroyed when someone destroyed the computer that had the inventory in it.
Who destroyed that computer?
I don't know.
Nobody never did tell me what
was
happened to
it
that
destroyed?
computer.
I just
They
went
just
down
said
to-
the computer was destroyed.
I went down to get the copy of the inventory that was in that computer and found out that the hard drive had been destroyed, taken apart. They showed me the pieces of it in the drawer down there, but
Well, you
there's-
never,
we're wasting time. Let's just go on and, we'll just
Okay.
get back
Which
to that.
department?
So, the first item, then, let's skip to the minutes.
I hate to prolong getting to that, but what's the warehouse hours? So I know when I might swing
There,
by and look at that
it's
stuff.
8 to 5.
8 to
And
5.
8 to 5, yes, and
I'll
Frank,
never be
there's,
able to go look at it. Okay, I'll take somebody else's word for it. Okay. Okay, so I can't go look at it, 'cause I'm at work during
well, we can make
have a
a special,
holiday.
we can make a special.
Didn't you have a
We
holiday
make-
Monday?
Let us know.
the day. Okay. What'd you
do we
say?
have a holiday Monday?
what you say? I didn't know this. I didn't know this yesterday. You're just jealous because you didn't know.
That's right. Jill's because you had to work.
Everybody else had to work.
That's right. Well, I work, it just
Postal
wasn't
and
there.
government
No,
employees.
we can make a special.
US
Okay.
government
You let us know
employees.
what.
All right, I appreciate that.
I just ain't right, is it, Parker?
Oh, goodness.
Okay, we'll go to the minutes then.
Um,
September 11, 2012.
While we're on that, I think we approved, of course, the bid for the truck. Have we received anything on that?
Yeah, he just told us the other day. He'd been out of town, and I think he lives back and forth.
He's got the truck.
Have
Yeah,
we
he's got
collected bid money on all the other vehicles and things that have been sold?
No, we still got the Dodge with the utility truck. It's still up down, well, we still got it and,
Have we collected money on every piece of surplus equipment
No.
that we've sold?
no, we haven't, have it.
What's the holdup with it?
What about that Impala that we sold?
That's one we still got he's entitled to $600 at the end of the year for his council fees.
That wasn't an agreement. The agreement was to pay for it.
Cash only.
That was not the agreement.
Who made the agreement to do that now? Because we agreed to
There
sell
wasn't
it.
no, there's no agreement to do it.
But
We voted.
we voted to sell it for cash.
Repossessed?
Well, I'm not a collection agency. He knew what the
Well,
deal
you need to
was.
get the vehicle back then, Mayor.
Has it been taken out of the
That's the
city's
case.
name?
Yes.
Oh, it's already out of the city's name and.
How much is he paying on it?
Money.
No, don't mention no name, okay.
I think $100.
$100, yeah,
So there's still $700 owed, because we sold it for $8.
yeah.
It's probably not even worth, it's maybe tore up right now. I mean, you never know.
He still
Well, it's
got
not
it.
the point, it's owed on, and
Yeah.
we actually signed over a title
Oh,
without
my.
collecting the money. I don't even understand how that could happen.
I don't either.
That, I think that was, told us that it wouldn't.
I would get the truck back that has the utility bed on it. Because that utility bed, I don't care what anybody says, can be taken off and used or sold.
We'll be using that.
Here it says, the mayor said the people with Waste Connections are here, therefore I would like for them to come out. And then it says, the mayor said we have decided to let it go for the remainder of this year.
That's
That's not what
I said.
was
That's
said.
not what I said. I
Okay.
said,
What
I know
was that,
it-
what does that,
I said, I have strongly recommend that we go with, because that's what I was recommending
I was
to
thinking.
you.
Well, I've got all kinds of corrections. You want me to go ahead and start?
so that
I mean,
statement right
these
there
minutes-
Which one
was,
you got?
These minutes are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
The 11th.
They'll ever.
Go right ahead.
I will. All right here where it says, Mr. Bowles presented the mayor with some things, the water plant, and that the state had requested, and then after discussion, this is what needs to be added. After discussion and correction by attorney, the resolution. The mayor said I had for resolution, and then after discussion and correction by attorney, Parker Boggs
We were supposed
was
to have a
added in that, and
corrected
we're all
copy of that.
supposed to get that.
We did correct it though, didn't we, Parker? 'cause he called me.
But I don't have a copy.
I wasn't supposed to correct it.
No.
Well,
No.
no, you didn't correct it,
I wasn't
but,
supposed to correct it. When I read it,
We said we-
when I read it
after
in Harlem Daily
discussion.
Enterprise, which are not here tonight,
no.
it made it look like I had fabricated the whole thing.
No, yeah.
We
No.
had some questions about it.
We
just
we
asked
discussed it
Parker.
with you, and then we did the
Harlem
resolution.
Daily
The
Enterprise
resolution
said
was
I
changed.
presented the resolution.
Yeah,
That's not correct. Parker advised us on it. He didn't.
yeah.
We'll get that.
I didn't present
See, that's
the
why I said
resolution.
discussion, Parker, that's why I said
There was,
discussion with the
there was a
attorney.
discussion and a correction was
But
requested.
anyway, we don't
We'll
have that,
take
and
it
I
up
need
for you,
that.
Parker.
We need that.
I can take it, but, you know, I did get a kick out of reading that.
While she's on.
Minutes should be accurate though, because when they're not, this holds us.
You want to wait and approve these minutes
It says
after the
resolution
corrections is totally
392,
made?
Well, I got some
and
more.
this one,
Yeah.
yeah, the night-
Yeah.
That two right there, that's where it says.
This should be 394 actually, because we read that other one a few minutes ago.
So this should be a full.
Yeah.
Which one should be 394?
This one.
This
is-
one.
The whole thing.
This one's 394
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
For the park,
No, the park,
Now, the park is 393, so this one will be
this one's
394.
394.
But it's not been read
Which
yet.
one's gonna be 394?
The one that's not been read yet.
393 is the
I've
Bob
lost all
Frazier.
Howie's.
393, that's all I have. Okay.
This one's
394
394.
is,
We can put this.
it's not been read yet.
Because once we prove this, it makes it. Yeah, we
So we didn't get to stand over there.
Well, so what is
Yeah.
394?
Yeah.
394.
What is 394?
394 is the one we got handed tonight. It says 392, but it should be 394.
The most part time.
We not read it yet. We not read it.
Can we set it aside these minutes and let them be corrected?
Huh?
You know the corrections in them?
I've got all kinds of stuff here that needs to be corrected in.
copy of yours,
Very
because you probably got more detail there.
I listened to the tape for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Won't you let me make a copy
I
of
listened to
that?
the tape for
She's
4
got a
hours.
good,
I wanna make a copy of that.
yeah.
And do you see the things that I've got marked out? That means it don't apply here. That's things I wanna ask. See, like marked out.
Yeah.
That don't apply to this, but the other things are corrections. I listened to tape for 4 hours,
Well, I'm sorry, Robin, I shouldn't have done that.
and I got a headache from it.
There's my note.
I thought, good Lord, that
Don't talk
thing was
about
too
anything
long.
about us changing the
Always-
ATV stickers.
always
in
look.
here.
Huh?
Remember, we talked about ATV stickers.
Yeah, there's one there at the bottom of it,
It's supposed
down
to
at the very
be,
bottom on the minutes, September 11th.
it says amend ordinance 423.
Yeah, that's one of the things I had on there, David.
Hang that
But
up.
actually, that ordinance, it was already $10. I don't know why we would have to amend it.
Cause it was in the.
There was an
book there.
attachment
But it's
to it.
$10 regardless.
Will you grab my paper, that top one?
This
Thank you.
one, you will.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I don't have one, damn it, she just passed down.
Oh, no, that, she gave them out tonight. That one.
Oh,
It's
excuse
probably,
me. I probably got it.
you're right,
I
now.
probably, no, that's the other one.
Yeah, we got that
Oh,
one
it's
tonight.
many papers, papers.
Gosh, you should see my office. Oh, it's unbelievable.
One thing I did have a question that David just brought that up about the ordinance. In our minutes, it said, made a motion to amend ordinance 423. And then I noticed on the tape that, Carla had said 424
Yeah.
sometime or another, so I think we need to verify exactly what that one is.
That's what I had written down.
But it was 423 that was in the paper, newspaper. See, because I got a copy of that.
Yeah, 'cause I
I
think
bet
I
there
said
was
that
a-
Right here.
424.
I think it's 424.
It was ordinance 423 for $10.
So it should be 24.
So,
Maybe 23.
so I don't, you know, so I just wanted to get that clarified because we sure don't want that.
I ain't been here. long
That's what it
enough.
says, 423.
I got it in the
Pull,
archive.
pull out your archives there. Big, big thing there. I've been here long enough.
425. 424.
424.
So I was right.
See, see here,
For what?
David? 423 was in the paper.
I don't have a 423.
And it was, HEB stickers, and it was written by Parker.
I don't even have a 423 in here. I go from 422 to 423. It seems like 423 was one that
Yeah,
was
it's one
brought
you
up.
put in
We
the paper.
never had the second reading on. Yeah.
But they also
Vacant
had in there that you
property.
did that resolution too.
Yeah, that's right. So this is one I remember, so, and that's the reason I said, that's the reason I was clarifying, which is it? Because this was what's in
Well, in
the
the ordinance books, I think has 424.
Like I say, it's one I wrote down that night whenever we were talking.
And, because I noticed when I was re-listening to that tape, Carl had said something about 424. So I read that.
What about
down.
the September 13th minutes?
We need to table these.
Oh, I thought that's what,
Yeah,
We'll
I
table
did.
the
Yeah,
11th, the September the
I make a
11th.
motion, we table the
September the 11th.
September the 11th
Robin's
until
tape
next
player
meeting.
has quit taping and she's not in here, so should we wait until she gets back in?
Oh,
now?
I guess so,
Well, we
yeah.
Or
don't
starts the
have it.
tape, or?
I guess so. Yep.
Because we heard it click.
423.
Yeah, see, that's what was in the paper.
Yeah.
That's what I don't.
So I'll say, because I said 420.
Yeah, your tape's cut off.
What's 424?
Because I even, like I say, I wrote down 424 that night when I was taking notes. But I'm only
You got 424 in your book, Robin, or 23, I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
23 is the ATV ordinance.
how much does it have there for the cost?
Well, now, this is the one that said the 1250,
Okay,
but then the summary says 10.
and that's what was published in the
This
See,
is
paper.
what
that's what was published.
Yeah, I've got it.
So it's
Yeah,
$10.
It's $10.
It's
So
$10.
what's 424?
What's 424? Because I,
Because David even said it's what he had.
the numbers we give out here, I don't.
But this is amended 423.
Did they amend it? Make it 424? Something happened when you get the numbers off like that.
Well, I wasn't paying attention, but, you know, two numbers were mentioned there.
See, I've got 424 wrote down on
Yeah,
my
that night we had
ordinance.
the, well, even that night, the September 11th, I wrote that down while I was taking notes. I wrote
And I
down
thought
amended
you'd even
ordinance
said it from
424.
the book. Maybe we thought it was gonna be 424 and we ended up not passing the ordinance before it and it changed it.
Anyway, you need to go back and let's listen to the tapes and get your meetings straightened out on that. That's September the 11th, we table those till next meeting.
I make a motion, we table September 11th, next meeting, with, for
Won't you just
corrections.
table them all till we get a chance to go over them, okay?
Well, okay.
I don't even have
There's
to.
425.
You don't even have the
See, I don't
11th.
have 424, that's not what.
Well, we got a
424
set of minutes here for
424 is
October the
the
4th that we can do because they're,
Yeah,
I don't
But the
have
minutes
that's
say
where we bought
423.
the, truck.
yeah, the 424 is the budget.
It says right here, it says Charles
And I
made a
read the
motion
first
to
one.
amend ordinance 423.
And didn't I read the first reading of the budget?
Yeah. we had
Yeah,
the
that's
first
where the
reading.
Yeah, and see, it's
424
not in the
minutes.
minutes either.
Yeah, that's where
So
the
that's the
424 came
424.
in, that you heard.
Oh, evidently, we just approved things in a different order and it messed with from what we originally said.
But anyway, see, this one doesn't even say you even read first reading the budget or anything on it.
I make a motion that we table the minutes until they can
No,
be
the
struck.
budget was- First reading of the budget was long before that.
Yeah.
No, it was this
last
night.
month. Last month, I mean.
It was
Last
last month, it was
month.
it was in this
Yeah.
meeting, September 11th.
No, we had the
Then we
first
have
reading.
corrections that have to be made to the budget, so that's why it hasn't
Yeah.
been
Was it
done.
when we had the first reading? I thought it's August.
No,
No,
it
that's
was,
for
it was
the-
September the 11th,
It was
because I remember
September
I
11th.
wasn't here. That was when I was at the funeral, so it was definitely, so that would probably been the 424. I bet you.
Matter of
That's
fact,
what you
Mr.
heard.
Boggs even said, you don't have to read the whole thing, you just read just parts of it. and
Right.
All that, last time, on that date, because it's right here on the date.
But the October 4th minutes now, I don't see anything wrong
I
with
do.
that. Do you?
I just, somebody needs to table it.
Let's see
Didn't
something
go
wrong
into
with
enough
them.
detail, I don't think. We didn't even include in these minutes on October 4th that Larry Riddle was here for municipal equipment, presented even another quote that day.
Oh, that's right, he did, didn't he?
So we need to
Yeah.
table those?
That's what those,
And he said
all we have.
that's what I got wrote down, that he had loaned us a truck to use until we could get that other one at the.
It's Sal
end
here
of-
for
Let's
this.
just table all the minutes
This
until
one.
next meeting, and way we
Now,
can
this
move
one-
on.
That burn phone running. I got
Yeah, no, I
this
agree
stuff
with
on
you, the other one,
I was
I
on
kinda
the
thought
when I
it
was
was
listening,
okay.
and I was so thankful I got to this one to
Yeah,
listen to
this one,
because
I
it's
thought
September
the
13th.
13th was fine.
Did anybody have anything to say?
Carla, I swear that I listened to the whole tape, and I'm telling you, he was killing me just like I was at a council meeting.
Yeah, she
what,
found
I'm
that.
sorry, what did you say, Leslie?
Did you all find anything with September 13th that needed corrections or anything?
Yeah, there was
Oh, okay,
something,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
there was something found wrong on, or not, there's something, they just need to be redone.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
just table
All
all
of-
three of them then.
Yeah, that way we can move on to the next.
October that we, well, October the.
Fourth, yeah.
11th,
11th,
13th, and the 4th.
September the 13th and October the 4th.
They want all.
Table them all.
Notes.
Carolyn made the most.
Who did?
Carolyn, I second table them all to the next meeting.
Well, motion's made. All those in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Next item is the financial statements for your review.
The Black Bear Market for, am I got that right, 125401, what would that be for?
That's where we're buying the diesel fuel.
Oh, okay.
On
And
the,
they got the fleet card, guys, is that two different
The
cards?
fleet is just, the regular vehicles.
So,
And they don't take the fleet card up there.
They
so
don't, that's
no.
true.
so
we
the
have to
Black Bear
write them.
Market is what?
That's just diesel for a month, diesel only.
$1,254.
And
worth
the
of
garbage
diesel?
truck is the only thing we use diesel for, is that right?
Well, we, like on the little
Backhoe.
things, the backhoe,
Okay.
Fire
but-
truck.
fire truck.
yeah. But the main part of that's just strictly garbage truck.
Unemployment insurance is, ooh, I got a total for a year for unemployment insurance is almost $30,000. Well, I'm getting a total for unemployment insurance is through the roof.
Way too high.
Yep.
On the general fund, on the, it's got garbage and fire deposited into water, $34,000.
That's where the bank won't take a check. If you come in and pay your water bills to the city of Cumberland Water, it all has to go into the water account. Then we have to transfer it over into general fund.
You got City of Cumberland General Fund, water 5,000, sewer 5,000.
That's just where we knew that it would be getting lean in October for general fund, and we hadn't done the transfer for the fire and the garbage yet for a couple of months.
Why can't we have an account just for our maintenance account, like our garbage and the sanitation? Why can't we have a separate account there? Because we're seeing this maintenance department. Wouldn't that be easier to track there? We got an income of $233,000.
You got your production report?
I just got it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's broken down like that.
Yeah, but I think it'd be more feasible to have an account just for that, because you could track your monies. Instead of putting monies from the garbage into the general fund, I'm suspecting it's other things is being paid from what's coming in, and you could keep it just from one fund.
Can you not set up sub-accounts like in the computer program? Like how they do it at school.
What's
I mean, they
health
have
and
one
public?
general.
Carl made it.
That's what they call it?
So you paid the bills, didn't you?
What was it paying them for?
So we had to run a CCR report, and I think there's 2 more ads right there.
What about Scott Grove's water and sewers? Around 255, 209.
So that's the, that they use to weld with
Welding and
oxygen and
it's maintenance supplies, is what it
J&P printing.
is.
J&R.
that's who does our receipt books, that kind of stuff.
Quartermaster.
That's for some badges.
For the maintenance department.
Should have been under the police department.
It was how much? What did you say?
836 and it's under the
For
maintenance.
badges?
Get a separate account.
What all was that, C1, do you remember?
There was badges and something else, we bought them.
A couple of different things.
Oh, you bought them way back before they got paid?
Please.
That's why it throws us for a loop.
They was bought actually in February.
Wow.
How many badges do you have now, Wayne?
I have 8 badges, sir.
It's the 3 major gifts plus LGA.
That's what we bought in February, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Did we have any before then?
No, sir, no, they didn't count with it.
5 now or
How much they cost a piece?
Probably about an average $95, $98 a piece or something like that. I always get a breakdown.
I get the
Well,
invoice.
the thing, that's not really the point, is if it was due in February, it should have been paid in February. But still, it's waiting until now, and it hits us all at once.
Have there been any computers or anything bought?
Yeah, we bought one, but when we lost our inventory computer, we had to buy another one.
Where is it?
Where's that? It's in the maintenance building in the warehouse where they got the collecting inventory.
So, we don't know what happened to the other one, or there's, nobody reported it. Does anything that gets damaged in the city, I don't mean trucks, equipment, when something gets damaged, we should know it.
Frank, has
Can I
everything
address
been
that?
back?
Can I address that for you? Do you mind?
don't
Basically, I
mind.
was told when I come in to try to start taking this inventory, that computer just completely got thrown away. So basically, I've got the complete inventory of this city, all on paper file right now, for everybody to view. I've got a copy for City Hall, and I'm also using Merle Galloway at the college to help me get that into a file on that computer.
There should always be a paper file.
Exactly. I'm making double copies of everything, so nothing can be thrown away or misplaced again, because I was told that the computer just got thrown away. So I informed them basically that anything like
Just got
that has to
thrown
go
away?
through this
From somebody's
department.
house.
Nobody can
It's
just throw
probably
that
got
stuff
stolen,
away
took to
anymore.
somebody's house.
No doubt.
That's the problem, a lot of stuff that's been stolen and stuff gets damaged.
Did you ever find the, speaking of stolen, did you ever find the, was it taser or a radio that was missing from the police department?
Still got radio missing.
Still
It
got
don't
it?
belong to the city, but.
Did
belongs
you
to
all
the county.
report that to the sheriff's department?
We have,
Because
put it
it's
this
his,
way, we have
it's his
turned
radio.
it to proper authorities, not necessarily the sheriff's department, but it's being investigated. I'm not dodging your question, but that's just,
Yeah.
I think that it should be investigated that way. And then we had, what else was missing?
Had a $450 taser, sewer tape missing, somebody walked off with it.
What about our sewer, the chop saw we had,
Concrete saw.
concrete saw?
Concrete saw was found, if I recall, at a pawn shop in Harlan. But
Did
the
it get
chainsaw
recovered?
has never been recovered.
it was for
Why
my
not?
time. It was for my
You'll be there
time.
to 10 o'clock.
The
Why-
top saw, the concrete saw was recovered.
Where is it?
It's up in the maintenance building, right?
Yes.
It's in, we have an inventory now, you know this.
But it
It
wasn't.
is in a locked room right at this present
No, it
time.
wasn't covered.
We lost a chainsaw. We had to
That
buy
had not been
another.
I'm not seeing any
Well, you know-
sanitation. Just right here, it's got
I
sanitation.
understand you saying you
But when you
lost,
come to payroll, I'm
and I
not
know you
seeing
didn't
any
lose it.
sanitation workers.
It's really not
Oh,
lost.
I got
And we
you a
have eight-
report on
We
that?
have 4.
Somebody stole it,
Where are they?
We got
took
8.
it home.
Biggest
I mean, we
one,
have
Right
4
now, we're
positions
enjoying the
for
money from it.
sanitation now.
that would be, well, I've got
If
this
it was
would be
me.
Garbage, might be maintenance.
If someone checks something out, and they don't come back with it, find
In
another
the
job.
policy manual, we have positions
Is
for
that
4
simple?
sanitation workers.
somebody checks something out or has something.
And I mean,
What's the
that's
system now?
That's
Well,
not tools.
I've tried to implement
They have
that.
a
I've got
different,
a tool
different
sign-out
job
sheet for every
description
tool
and everything.
basically the city of Cumberland has got. It
So
gets signed
they're not
out,
in maintenance.
what department's got it, which person's got it,
what
which
would they
day,
do?
where it's going, and it's gotta be checked back in by Stan or myself to show that it did come back to the building.
Jerry's in.
So you're the supervisor up there now?
I have not been classified here yet.
She was forward.
I'm still waiting for that
So you got
classification.
two supervisors in the,
Maintenance and taking care of the inventory, equipment especially.
And you got your first.
Do we have a job description for that?
Right here. Not yet, we don't have, you haven't made a classification plan. I suggested one, you remember the one I submitted to you? You haven't responded about it.
well, let me say something about this.
Well, we did respond.
It's nothing against you, Mr. Ross, because I don't know you.
No, nothing against your.
No,
No.
it's not against you.
We're going through the times with the water plant
Yeah.
and the sewer plant and the packer, and we didn't have budgeted in for extra employees and things of that nature. So don't take offense to what we're saying. We're discussing money. I know you're a human being, but we're discussing money, the part of it.
It's the
But
law.
not you or anything you've done.
I understand that. But I read the
Is this
personnel
all these
manual.
mine?
The maintenance department
everybody
allowed
gets
up
one.
to 10 people.
Right. And there was
as of
3
right now,
people
there's
that
still
left.
only 9.
And it sounds
Say that
like
again now.
that he is saving you money.
I've saved big.
Say that, so what- how
I
many
said
you tell
in the
me?
personnel ordinance of it, it shows for 10 employees.
It doesn't show, okay, can I just say something? Our maintenance department here is the biggest department in the city, and we have 2 supervisors in this department.
You're gonna have to decide, really, you
And
only
there's
need
only
one, and
supervisor.
whoever's qualified to do it. I'm not saying who is and who ain't.
And we've been pushed with this garbage packer to buy, and that was started a month or so ago. Within that time, there's been 2 employees that's hired, that's costing the city $43,904. That's right now, the maintenance department is 19% over what is budgeted. $33,085 is what we're over right now. With the employees, you'll see, and notice your time that these employees has worked for us. Notice the pay scale. But we're over the budget in this. And we have, okay, Stanley, my question to you is, the garbage packer, how many employees do you need to take care of the garbage department? The picking up garbage, and how many employees do you
You
need?
need at least a driver and 2 men behind it.
That's 3 employees, and of course, we need a supervisor.
The Sarah policy manual allows for 4 sanitation workers. They have their own job description and everything.
And who would, you know, I noticed there's one here that doesn't even have a driver's license. What would he do? What would somebody without a driver's license?
Yeah, we've got actually
How would he,
2
how would he
employees
even-
without driver's license. So what, are they driving city equipment?
No, they shouldn't be. I don't know. I haven't seen any of them driving city equipment.
Well, see, that's one of the requirement of these positions is to have a Kentucky driver's license.
No,
I mean, it's in the book.
Not all of them.
This $43,904 is, that's your packer payment right there. Brand new packer payment. But we're over budgeted in that department. You have 8 employees in maintenance. That's more than your water and sewer.
And even though the personnel manual does show 10 spots, I know you probably hadn't seen the budget, but when we do the budget at the first of the year, like from 2011 or 2012, you'd be able to see how many positions we budgeted for in there. So even though that manual says 10, we go through there, and if we budget for 7, that's what we use that year.
Yep, that's
And
all the money we have to
if we
spend.
change it, we have to amend the budget to try to come up with that money.
I was under the impression the budget has not been set for this year.
We're operating on the
It
old
doesn't go by
budget.
the old
Anytime
budget
you don't
until
have
the new
one
gets
by July 1st, you
approved.
automatically, your old budget
Fall back.
Yeah.
falls back off.
And Frank, when we speak of your position being an illegal position, if someone is hired, if the mayor hires someone in the city under an illegal position, every citizen in the city of Cumberland can come back and claim that money for your salary to theirself.
Well,
Not
when he
from
hired me,
you.
he told me I was going
Not
into the
from
maintenance
you,
position.
but from us, the
He
city.
didn't give me a title. He
I-
told me he was hiring me for
but-
the maintenance position.
Well, we have a
and that he
draft
wanted to
here, a new
delegate me
position
individual
draft.
tasks.
It's a draft, it's not been adopted.
But that's
Well,
what we
but
have to go by.
I will
but-
say,
Is that
I
the
will
major
say that
plan?
you, at one of the meetings, said that you were a warehouse manager to assist Stanley. The mayor repeated 2 times that he was a warehouse manager.
Well, like
I
said,
mean, but we don't have that position. The mayor should have presented that to us and said, I would
believe
like to do
did,
that.
Miss,
And change the ordinance.
I should have done that before he even hired you.
Miss
I
Elder,
mean,
From
really.
from what I can gather from you is, I don't know your qualifications, I've never seen them, but you have a general knowledge. Maybe you have more knowledge than some we have now.
And you're doing a good job.
Yeah, so if we've got 2 people, we basically can't hire a supervisor.
let me explain something. I think you're misunderstanding, and Parker will verify this. A mayor can delegate certain functions that he's responsible for to anybody, no matter if he's a maintenance warehouse man or a sewer water plant. If there's some special functions that are required in the city, such as what Frank is doing, maintaining an inventory and welding and repairing these vehicles. Now, a mayor can delegate that by executive order, and that's exactly what I did. Now,
But you
Miss
can't break
Laura.
the budget.
But you created position.
No, we have not created a position yet. I gave you the ideal there. If you want to
That's a
create the
draft.
position,
Yeah.
then that's your job to do. That's the position that he would be filling if you created it. Now I'm going by the law. Mr. Boggs will verify
The
that.
mayor has the power to delegate administrative functions within the operation of the day operation for the city as it functions. The mayor does not have the ability to create new positions that are not funded by a budget.
The funding
Can you
by the
define what a draft is,
We're within
please?
the budget. I
Draft is
disagree.
not-
We're not
draft
within the
would not
budget
be,
by any means.
This is what I brought
It
up
would
tonight,
be a
though, we're not in the
proposal.
budget.
A draft would be like the same thing as a proposal for council to put that on.
And if it's not been approved, then it's not happened, right?
Because of the budget. But
What you may have
if
to
there's
wanna
do
no-
is
clarify
choose
if
the
there's
most
no
qualified
budget
employee.
that's been adopted, then you're working within the
To do that.
the
Old budget.
framework of the old budget. And of course, within that, as long as, within that budgetary framework, you can delegate duties, if a maintenance worker, his duties are gonna be to be over at the warehouse, or a maintenance worker, his duties go around, painting, yellow signs on, or yellow stripes on the sidewalks. I mean, those are delegations of how.
As long as we have the money
But,
in the budget.
you don't have a position called a sidewalk painter either, so,
There's one more thing I want to make, because I've heard it in the last ever since Frank's been hired. And behind the doors but as the council meeting, you were hired as a maintenance worker.
He told me I was hired for the maintenance
Right.
department.
Well, that's
You were
not what
not
he told us.
hired, you were not
wouldn't
hired
tell
as a
us that.
supervisor, right?
Absolutely. That's all
No,
I
he
put
said
on
there
it.
2 times. It's on the tape.
No.
Managing the warehouse is not a manager.
That he was the warehouse manager.
Well,
I mean, you said that. He also introduced himself as that.
Well, he is. That's what he's doing.
But that job, we do not have that job.
How about,
That job
how
is
about
the-
rewording it to what it means,
now.
managing the warehouse? Does that, I know,
Well,
but
you still gotta come up with the money in the budget.
Yeah.
Well, the budget is already there. We was, and.
We're over the budget with
No, I don't believe
with all
we
this
are.
right here.
I don't think,
believe we are.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, you
I'd
can-
like to check this
is
out.
from, everything that I've gave y'all reports in the past is from 2011 to 2012 fiscal year, what I got reports of your guys' reports and all that. And to say that you're gonna shut down
Yeah, I see
the,
that.
garbage
That's another
packer,
line
the garbage
Yeah.
pickup, we make $233,000 a year. And not lay off any employees when the only income you would have from Waste Connections would be $21,000 a year from their percentage they're gonna pay us. That would have put at least 8 people out of jobs.
That's true.
And you cannot, people cannot say that you're gonna not have any layoffs when you shut down a whole department. So that's why we
And
went
that guy
to.
did guarantee us that, I mean, he told us, he said, we can't give you any guarantees
preaching when he
that
told
we would
me.
pick up
Yeah.
your sanitation workers if they took that. So we were trying to save jobs and save the city money.
That's why
Hey,
we went to
citizens.
bat for the garbage system. We wanted to keep your jobs, and that's important to us to keep jobs, but we gotta keep it within the budget.
I would like to have the opportunity to look at
May I add
where these
something to
numbers
that
come from.
also?
Well, your
You're
numbers come
kinda
from your budget
specifying
that you just
the
gave us.
budget
They
of
just gave
the
us.
Maintenance department. Well, if I'm taking care of inventory, that budget ought to be shared between